lately on my channel, I have been raving about one particular ingredient when it comes to the magic ingredient for weight loss, the best thing to eat for weight loss. And I actually did a whole vlog about it, which I will link right here. But that secret ingredient, that big ingredient, that thing, that game-changing ingredient is fiber. So while my latest content might have piqued your interest as to, oh, maybe I should be eating more fiber, today I want to talk to you a little bit about how exactly to get enough fiber in your diet to promote a healthy lifestyle, wellness, and of course, weight loss. First of all, what is fiber? Fiber is found exclusively in the carbohydrate macronutrient, and it is actually a part of a carbohydrate that is indigestible or partially indigestible, and therefore it goes through your system and processes in a different way. Fiber is the stuff that helps you stay regular in the digestive tract area, if you know what I'm saying, but fiber has so many other wildly beneficial reasons to be eating it on a regular basis. As I said, it promotes digestive health. Not only does it add bulk to your stool, keep you regular, and prevent constipation, but it's the primary thing that feeds your gut microbiome. That whole ecosystem you have living in your lower abdomen that is really this body's second brain. A lot of stuff happens and originates because of the gut, and gut health is actually a very trendy thing right now. And while the trend in and of itself can kind of be a little over-exaggerated, the importance of gut health is not. Gut health is wildly important, and feeding your gut microbiome a variety of different sources of fiber is wildly beneficial and actually essential to achieving your optimal gut health. Fiber also controls your blood sugar, or helps control your blood sugar. The gel-like substance that is created when you consume soluble fibers from fruits, grains, vegetables, etc. actually slows down your body's absorption of glucose, and thus requiring less blood sugar and insulin to be in the system. So more fiber can equal lower blood sugar. And as we are starting to know in nutritional health, less insulin means more weight loss. Insulin is a fat-storing hormone. So the less insulin we can pump out into our bodies, the less likely we are to have insulin-based fat gain or fat storage. Fiber is also associated with cardiovascular health and can actually help reduce the bad cholesterol, the LDL, in your system. And then of course, fiber helps with weight loss. Fiber is wildly satiating. If you compare carb for carb, the same amount of carbohydrates with no fiber and the same amount of carbohydrates with an increased fiber, you will actually find every single time that when you eat the carbohydrates with the extra fiber in them, you will be fuller for longer and more satisfied. I personally have increased my fiber greatly over the last couple of weeks, and the results have been amazing. I have been completely satisfied. I eat less. I'm never hungry, or almost never hungry. I guess I can't say never, but I'm almost never hungry, which overall decreases my caloric intake throughout the day because I'm really trying to lean into, instead of being concerned about an exact calorie number or having my meals so pre-planned that I have to feel that I need to eat every single thing that I track, I'm listening to my hunger signals. I know. It's a wild concept, isn't it? Listening to your body, eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full. But what I have found is, since I have increased my fiber intake, my hunger signals are doing less, hey, you're hungry, and more, you're actually satisfied and don't need to eat right now, which of course, over time means you consume fewer calories, resulting in weight loss. I mean, we can look at it in a real practical way too. What are the foods that are high in fiber? Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes, things of that nature. Foods that are inherently lower in calorie density. It's going to take us a lot more food in terms of volume to eat 500 calories worth of fruit compared to 500 calories worth of cupcake or pizza. So naturally, when you're eating a diet that is heavier in whole food fiber, you are eating a greater quantity of food, a greater volume of food for fewer calories, plus all of the awesome side effects and digestive and nutritional implications of increasing the fiber in your diet. So, How exactly do we increase the fiber in our diet? Well, it's really easy, and I kind of already touched on it. First and foremost is eat more fruits and vegetables. My friends, we do not need to be afraid of fruit, and actually the whole lesson of this video is we do not need to be afraid of carbohydrates. A lot of people condemn carbohydrates because of the sugar, but we fail to realize that in order to get adequate fiber intake, you also need to eat the carbohydrates, because that's the only place you're going to find the fiber, is in the carbohydrates. So it's not carbohydrates are bad, it's eating more of the proper whole food, high fiber carbohydrates are going to be more wildly beneficial to you than eating the refined, white, processed carbohydrates. So fruits and vegetables, eat a variety of fruits and vegetables and eat them in big quantities. We should be getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. I know 9 seems like a lot. So maybe start with the government regulated, you should be getting 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in a day. If you have fruits and vegetables with every meal or snack, you can do that easily. A serving of fruit is like only half a cup, guys. You can do this. You can get a serving of fruit, a banana, an apple, a cup of berries. Oh my gosh, do I love the berries. Raspberries are actually one of the highest fiber foods per weight in terms of fruit. So get yourself some raspberries, throw them in some yogurt, and you've got some protein and some fiber right there in your bowl. Not only is an increase of your fruits and vegetables important, but I also think it's important to increase the variety of produce that you consume throughout the week. When it comes to feeding your gut microbiome, the more variety, the better. So if you're eating the same 3 or 4 fruits and vegetables every single day and nothing else, you're going to have copious amounts of whatever those particular plants provide for your gut. But if you start eating 10, 15, 20 different varieties throughout the week or the month, you're going to feed your gut microbiome a much bigger variety, resulting in ultimately more functional and a healthier gut. Next up is to make sure that you increase your consumption of whole grains. This is something that, again, when it comes to carbs, we kind of freak out about, but it's really not all that hard. Whole grains, what are whole grains? Well, we've got oats. Guys, oatmeal is a highly underrated breakfast food. There is so much you can do with it, and it is a whole food that contains fibrous carbohydrates. You can swap your refined grains for the whole grain version. Think quinoa, brown rice, wheat bread, whole wheat bread. Make sure you look at your nutrition labels, because there are some breads out there that'll say whole wheat, but they still have basically the same macronutrient breakdown as processed white bread. You want to look for breads that are really seedy and heavy, and yes, sometimes cost a few more calories per slice, but those are the ones that aren't only going to contain fiber, but protein as well. I have found some wonderful bread options that give me a lot more of a balanced macronutrient lineup than other processed breads. One of my personal favorites, and my husband's as well, is the Angelic Bakehouse bread. The ingredients are stellar. The macronutrients are out of this world. You've got fiber, you've got protein, you've got low fat. It's wonderful, filling, and super good for you. Don't forget about things like whole grain pasta. You can still have pasta, just swap out the kind of pasta that you get. And grains like quinoa are absolutely exceptional and contain more fiber than, say, white rice or white pasta. Let's talk about beans and legumes. One of the most game-changing things that I have done recently is started purchasing canned organic chickpeas from Target. And I've been making really great Mediterranean vegetable salads that have tomatoes and cucumbers and onions and chickpeas. And oh my gosh, the fiber serving that I get from a cup of this creation. You can do whatever you want with it. Sometimes I make it like a basil, more Italian feeling thing. Sometimes I use a dill flavoring, and sometimes I just use some olive oil and a tart bit of lemon. Any way that I prepare it, it's so good, and it is so deliciously clean and full of whole foods, but those chickpeas are game-changing, you guys. Another ingredient that is a power food that I have not realized was a power food. I wish I would have realized 10 years ago that this food is a powerhouse of epic nutrition and really high fiber. Lentils, my friends. Do not discount the little itty bitty lentil. These guys are fiber-packed powerhouses that calorically doesn't cost you a whole lot to get those really awesome high fiber benefits. Take a look into getting a variety of beans and legumes into your diet, because that's where a lot of really healthy fiber hangs out. Snack on nuts and seeds. Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, pistachios, Brazil nuts, almonds, all of these things contain healthy, lower in saturated fats, and also fiber. These are excellent snacks to have just on your own, have with a piece of fruit, but even adding them to things like salads or oatmeal is a great way to increase your fiber intake as well. In the seed category, we also have things like chia seeds and flax seeds, and my new love, the current love of my life, the humble basil seed. You guys, if you've been watching my vlogs, you know that I have been creating this beverage out of like basil seed goo is what we have coined it, where I rehydrate basil seeds and I actually put them in a beverage and drink them. And they're kind of like this little gelatinous texture as they go down. Think boba tea balls, but like really tiny. I order my basil seeds on Amazon.com, and what's awesome about these basil seeds is I basically say they're like chia seeds on steroids. Chia seeds are very nutritionally sound, healthy fat, fiber, all sorts of good things. Basil seeds take it a step further and add a higher level of antioxidants, vitamins, and every single carbohydrate gram is actually a fibrous carbohydrate gram. So when you're eating the basil seeds, or drinking, in my case, the basil seeds, you actually end up ingesting a lot more fiber per gram than you would in chia seeds, which is absolutely amazing. I have been drinking basil seeds every single day as part of like my kombucha flavored water beverage throughout the day, and it has added an amazing amount of fiber to my diet, and I feel really good. It keeps me satisfied, it keeps me full, and it's something other than plain water. You know what I'm saying? One important thing of note, never ever eat chia seeds or basil seeds or anything of that nature dry. When you add these things to water or to a liquid of some kind, you will notice, like I said, it turns into a gelatinous substance. It absorbs all of that water. If you intake these things dry, guess where it's going to get that water from? The inside of your body. You do not, repeat, do not want this to happen. So make sure you throw your chia seeds in oatmeal, in a smoothie, in water like I do, or your basil seeds, whatever it is. I'll link the basil seeds that I love for you down below. Make sure you rehydrate them in some way before you eat them. You have been warned. And finally, choose some high fiber snacks. You will find that a lot of the diet foods or keto foods and things like of that nature aren't necessarily low in carbs. Sorry, my keto friends, but if you look at those keto tortillas, the total carbohydrates are actually pretty regular, but it is the increased fortified fiber that is giving you a lower net carb. Remember, net carbs is taking the total carbohydrates in something and subtracting the fiber from them, giving you a total net carbohydrate of what actually gets processed in terms of glucose and has the potential to spike your blood sugar. While I recommend eating these fiber fortified foods in moderation, for example, one of the only things I have is when I have my egg fold over, I always use a fiber fortified tortilla. Most of your fiber should be coming from whole foods found in their somewhat natural form, but occasionally you need a little bit of an extra boost. And that's where things like those tortillas or protein bars that seem to have added fiber in them as well are great options. Some of the things that I eat on a regular basis are the Ole tortilla wraps, Mission low carb tortillas, healthy eating on the go bars, which are by far, hands down, bar none, my favorite kind of snack bar. They have between 9 and 15 grams of protein, and they have 5 or 6 grams of fiber, all for around 200 calories, which is absolutely exceptional. Another bar that's a great plant-based, soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free option is IQ bar. This also has some adaptogenic things and all sorts of things for brain health, but at the end of the day, they are a protein bar that has 12 grams of protein as well as some fiber in there. If you're interested in trying IQ bar, I do have a discount code for them, and I will have that linked in the description bar for you. Those are just a handful of ideas for how to increase your fiber intake. The FDA recommends that as women, we should be getting about 25 grams of fiber a day, and I think as men, it's 30 or 35. But in reality, the more I'm learning, the more I'm reading, the more I'm realizing that that number is still actually quite low. My new standard, the new minimum that I have given myself is 35 grams of fiber. And in actuality, I've been getting anywhere between 35 and 55 grams of fiber on a daily basis. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, because I stay hydrated, I don't have any crazy things that happen digestively. A lot of people hesitate to eat enough fiber because it gives them gastrointestinal upset. Here's a couple things that I would recommend. First, stay hydrated. You need to. We already should be staying hydrated, right? Especially for weight loss, especially for wellness, especially for all the things, we should be staying hydrated. However, as you increase your fiber intake, it is essential that you increase your water intake to match. So please, 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 as you increase your fiber, drink some extra water to go along with it. And secondly, go gradually. If you discover that you are currently somebody who eats only 10 grams of fiber a day, jumping right up to 35 might be a little bit alarming to your system. So maybe start with going to 15 or 20 grams and gradually, week over week, start to increase your daily fiber intake until you get to that optimal range of somewhere around or past 35 grams of fiber a day. I know for me personally, increasing my fiber intake has truly changed my relationship with food, how I digest, my hunger signals, and my cravings, and it's just been ultimately a really, really great thing for my wellness and my weight loss. I hope this video encourages you to take a step towards increasing your fiber intake, or at the very least, checking in to make sure you are getting the recommended daily minimum requirement of fiber. An app that I love to do this is MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal gives you the ability to track your fiber intake right along with anything else that you want to track. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really does help me out. And if you want to join the Diva and the Divine community and see anytime I upload more content such as this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, happy fiber eating, and I will see you all again real soon. Bye.